All right, hey guys, Brett here. Welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about why the murder and assassination of Charlie Kirk is actually completely normal. I know that's a shocking statement, and I want to contextualize it and I'll first say that what happened was evil and we all saw that. But this is not something that should shock us. This is actually a return to the mean. What's happening is what has always happened. And I want to go back when people stood for truth, as far back as Socrates. Socrates was a philosopher who did not have the Judeo-Christian Bible. He was unaware of Judaism, according to all the sources I'm familiar with. And what he reasoned in his mind was that there's one source of good, the what he called the essence of the good. And this is getting a little bit into philosophy. I won't stick here too long. But he said that there is only one source of good, and he shouted it from the rooftops. It's the center of all of his philosophy. And Socrates taught Plato, and Plato taught Aristotle, and they all followed this reason, this knowledge, what they called the logos. They followed this, and they believed that there is one place that all good comes from. And now, in the case of Socrates, this was opposed to the stated beliefs of the government, who believed in, the pantheon. I believe the Greek pantheon. And they killed him for it. They gave him the death penalty and they forced him to drink poison. And I believe he had the opportunity to recant it. And he said, no. He said, I will die. Or no, forgive me. His followers gave him the opportunity to get out or run or something. He said, no, I'll die for this. And he drank the poison and he died. But then moving forward, you look at Jesus Christ, who lived for the truth, tried to bring the truth, made a lot of claims about the truth, and was murdered for that. And quite gruesomely. For those of you who are aware of the process of crucifixion, it's the worst and most torturous death. And then after he died for his faith, you'll see that there was a long period in church history where, especially like Nero and the fires of Rome, I believe it's Nero, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but the Emperor Nero in Rome there were fires in Rome. He blamed it on the Christians, and he was putting them on crosses faster than they could get the wood for the crosses. They were crucifying Christians faster than they could possibly source the materials to do it. When you go through history, this is what you see. This is what is normal. And a lot of conservative commentators, I think specifically Peterson, he talks about the monsters at the gate. He talks about how this is actually what's normal. And when America was created and founded, there were a lot of very strong people who put together a system in which evil could not thrive. So you've got the founding fathers who were brilliant. I mean, you talk about people today. These guys were geniuses compared to where we were at today. There's no TVs, there's no cell phones. They sat around and they read all of the ancient works, and they said, how do we best put together a government that can avoid tyranny and can avoid, theocracy, all of the things, and populism and all these other things. And so they founded a country that would not be a place where evil and persecution could thrive, which is what we've seen. And then we have heroes on the battlefield who have gone and protected our country to keep evil out of our country. And we have built these walls and these gates, and the US military, you wonder why the US military is so big. What's it been doing? It's been keeping evil at bay. And for those of us who have grown up within the United States, in this bubble of protection, the biggest evil maybe some of us have ever seen is like the water that comes out of your refrigerator filter tastes funny, and we need to do a year of research on how we don't pollute our body with bad filtered water or something. Like the stuff that we worry ourselves about is so small compared to what the people of the past worried themselves with, which was brutal murders and killings for their beliefs if it didn't align with a ruling power or the majority, right? Pitchforks and torches. So what does that mean? That means that human nature is fallen. Human nature abhors the truth. And the baseline is that people who stand for the truth and who stand for God are rejected by the masses and are killed. That is what we see all throughout history. This is my takeaway. When I see the murder of Charlie Kirk, I see a return to the mean. I see our culture moving away. We have radicalized youth, and obviously, this isn't even the first attempt at these sorts of things in recent memory, but we have a radicalized base of youth who have been sold a basket of lies. And we're just returning to what has been normal for all of human history. And the way I take it, and the reason why I'm making some videos on this and doing what I can do to make my sphere better, is because if I don't do something and you don't do something, we will return to the mean. If you saw what happened with Charlie Kirk and you don't think that it could happen to you, you would be terribly mistaken, because that is the nature of how things have always been. And you can see this in other countries too. Go take your faith and go take it to any number of countries. When I went to school, I went for ministry school for youth ministry, and I had to pursue two majors. One of them was in English. I had to have an English major so that when I went and did missions in other countries, I could say, I'm here to teach English. And then they don't report the Bible degree on the transcript, or whatever the paper is they give you, so that you don't get killed for your faith. I have personally worked with interns over here at my business, ClickMill, who are in countries that I can't even disclose. And they have to work on VPNs and encryption and like a whole bunch of stuff, because if they get found out, they're dead. So I encourage you to ask yourself, what is the part, even if it's small, it counts. What's the part you can play in keeping the monsters outside the gate? Because right now they're inside and we are seeing only the first little glimpse of what it could be. So let's not let that happen. If you like this video, if you like this kind of content, please like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, all the things. And definitely let me know in the comments what type of information you'd like to see here on this channel. You're welcome to look around, see the kinds of things that I talk about, and I would be happy to speak on anything that I feel like I can honestly talk about with competence. So thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video. God bless.